The world speaks in 1,000 voices, all telling you who you should be. But there is one voice that is always present deep within you. In each action, it grows more clear, certain. A quiet voice that knows. Worth isn't given. It's built in.
All right, so we got something special here today. Let us know your name and what you do in your brand.
My name is Seaworth, creator of the brand Seaworth. Our main goal is to get people to understand and be reminded that the worth is already inside them.
Like we talked about last time a little bit, how long have you been doing your brand?
So I've been doing it for 6-7 years, honestly, 6-7 years.
Yeah, so throughout those years, what has been the main struggle of building your brand?
The main struggle is staying consistent and like having like a voice. Like, you know, a lot of people create brands that just like a cool name and then like cool graphics. My brand, like with my name in it, like I knew I needed to make sure that everything kind of tie together. Like in the beginning, like that was the struggle, was trying to find that voice for Seaworth. Like, you know, the design language, like I take a lot of heed from like Virgil. Like Virgil, like seeing him, how he explained off-white, like people would think it just like off-white, but it really was like a whole—
something
like,
more than that.
Yeah, more than that. So certain things, but like for me, I always stayed committed to Seaworth, and like I feel like it really taught me a lot, and even like the positions I'm in today is because of my brand. Like it really opened doors for me, for real.
Yeah, and I think consistency is like a real big thing for brands, because like 70% of the time people think it looks cool to have a brand. Right. So they start it, they get everything, and then they're like, dang, I fell off on it. So I can't really like pick back up. And so just having that mindset of like what you want, seeing what you want, and seeing your worth, and going towards it and getting what you want, it definitely has to be something that's at the forefront of your mind. What is the biggest thing that you've learned while building your brand?
The biggest thing I learned during this time, like the biggest thing was probably like patience, because I'm always like quick to like come up with all these design ideas and thoughts, but the patience is what allowed me to sit back and say, oh wow, like this is what it was really saying, you know? Instead of like kind of frantically trying to keep doing extra and more stuff, but kind of sitting back and allowing it to come to you for real.
And I really resonate with that. But we in the art room. You know what I'm saying? You're an art teacher.
Art teacher.
So how has being an art teacher affected you in the way that you look at fashion?
It made me get a new perspective on art. Like, I mean, not art, but fashion. It made me get a new perspective on fashion, like, because originally, like, before anything, even before fashion, I always knew how to dress, but I was always like a drawing person. Like I always used to be in the back of class, me and my man Solomon, we used to just have drawing contests, like, and just from there, for me, that was I feel like my gift, my calling. So when I get into art and then I explore fashion, I think about how I'm able to take like the things I paint or draw, or, you know, come up with different ideas. Like even this, it all kind of came from just being able to draw and visually get my ideas out. So I believe it connects in that way, where you can be able to articulate what you're saying visually through clothes.
And then going off of that fashion, in Detroit, we do have fashion here. It's real like low key, but once you get there, it's there. Because in my beginning, the reason how I even got in these spaces, in these positions, I made 2 videos.
Right.
First video, I said, Detroit ain't got no type of fashion.
I
They bashed me.
I remember I seen that
Yeah.
video. I seen that video.
And they was like, you gotta come down here, you gotta come down here. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, bet, I'm gonna come down there. I went down there on a Thursday at 3 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
And they was like, why would you come on a Thursday at 3 o'clock? So I'm like, all right, bet, y'all trolling me at this point. So they're like, come on a Saturday at night. Went on a Saturday at 8 o'clock. And they was like, oh, you at the gentrified place. I'm like, okay, can y'all put me where I'm supposed to be?
Right,
Y'all keep saying everything. But now that I have been in the spaces, I have met other people, I have met other clothing brands. I want to ask you, like, what is something that you want to see more in the fashion community?
What we need to do way more of is like collaboration. Like, I look at us, especially with Detroit Has Nine, I don't, like I said, I've learned patience and how like it ain't really our timing, it's really God's timing. And I feel like during this time, what I'm seeing, way more collaboration between brands. Like, I love how different brands like the Archive, you know, bringing brands together. Like, you never seen stuff like that back when I was first starting, because like a lot of times it was just everybody was building their brands. But I feel like now that you see so many different brands, I think collaboration would be huge for the city, because like I just said, like you said, like brands, everybody, like right now we collaborating in a way that seemed like just an interview, but it's a collaboration happening between, you know, me and MJ, and you know, just like with the fashion brands, I feel like that same thing can kind of coexist and make communities come together. Cause that's what I notice when I see like Nigo and Virgil and Pharrell, you know, they now, well, you know, Virgil, rest in peace, but
R.I.P.
Pharrell and Nigo started together, and then, you know, built the empire with, you know, Scathing, and just knowing the history, I seen that how brands grow is through, you know, collaboration. I feel like Detroit has all of the tools to be able to
all of the tools.
Yeah.
And I feel so deeply about that too, because you never know what could come out of a collaboration.
Yeah.
And it's like some of these, like most of the people that I saw at the Archive, they would make some fire pieces. We just gotta come together, because at the end of the day, we Detroit. Like, we're not pieces in a puzzle. We are together.
Yeah.
Detroit is together. It's Detroit versus everybody. So we can't look at ourselves like competition. We got to look at ourselves like brothers and sisters.
Right.
At the end of the day, come together and produce something more. Because you never know where, if you make a little collab piece, you never know.
Never know what can happen.
Two audiences coming together, you never know what can come from that. So you've been doing your brand for a real long time, and everything is not always up, everything is not always down. And I say that because criticism is gonna come. You know what I'm saying? So how do you handle criticism towards your brand?
Friends was asking me like, why are you starting to do art now? Like, why are you starting to do art? And like, cause I was always like, during college, I never even really did drawing and art. Like, I was literally more so just fashion. That was it. But like, for me, going back into art was looking at Basquiat. Like, one of the things I seen from him was the fact that he sold a painting for 128 million. And I'm just like, I do this in my sleep. Like, you know, I can draw, I can paint.
Yeah.
So why do I not try this, like, and do this? So like, for me, what I learned with Seaworth is just to continue doing what you love, like, and not seeing your vision, because they can't see what you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's only one of you, so it's like you gotta, for me, I'm always good about taking chances, and like, I knew that I wanted to do, not just for the money aspect, but just the understanding that I can do it. You know, I literally love to draw and I can do it, so it's just like, I knew I was gonna be able to use it for what I was doing. So it's now culminating into more things, like, again, me being an art teacher, me being, you know, around these kids, and they helping me see my worth, you know. Like I said, during that time when he doing art now, he ain't really into fashion. The kids is really what kept me going, calling, like, you know, Mr. Seaworth is like, those reminders, and that's why, to me, it made me understand my brand and what it was, you know, because they tell me messages every day, like on the board, it's like, see your worth, see the worth. You know, it's just so many different positive messages. And so, you know, this was, I believe, like I said, God's plan. It helped me, you know, just be able to be more organized what I was doing with my brand. And I wouldn't take it back. You know, I would really do that all over again, you know.
Yeah. Is there like one like comment that stuck out to you, as far as like criticism? Like, has anybody said something where it was just like, dang, like, why would you say that?
Yeah, I remember it was one person who said slow motion is better than no motion. And to me, you know, what do you mean? Like, just because I'm doing something else don't mean it's slow motion. You know, it's just how you see it. But it's like, I feel like everybody is entitled to their own opinion. So like, at the end of the day, that's how you see it. That's the truth, you know, in some ways or in the other. So it's just up to me to just show you what I'm doing, you know, and it's only gonna time to tell, like, when it comes down to end, because it ain't about who quick is to get there. It's about, you know, the ones that, you know, is applying themselves every day. It's gonna culminate.
Consistency.
Culminate into something.
So I was at the archive event. I did, you know, interview him. Lighting situation got bad, but I did pick up a hoodie or a zip up. It's gonna be somewhere on the screen. I really enjoy it. I'm waiting until it get a little colder outside to bust it out. But can you describe the design process for the jacket?
Man, so
I'm gonna put a couple pictures up on the screen, but I really enjoy this.
This jacket right here is the seal canvas. The seal canvas is the pattern, but it's called the built-in jacket. Our motto at Seaworth is "Worth is built in." Just to talk about the bricks for a minute, because people ask, like, what do bricks got to do with Seaworth? It really means to just taking a step a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, laying a brick a day out. Like, Will Smith had this real good quote where basically his granddad had made him refix a wall. He had to lay the brick perfectly each time for it to then look back and say it's a wall. And that, to me, it's kind of like seeing worth in a way where you like taking these steps. Cause like I said, I didn't start art again until 2021. Me starting that was laying that first brick. And now it culminates, you know, from you just continuing to work. And so, and then like one of the futures I like is where, you know, you strictly just seeing, you know, you seeing your work. And it kind of looked like a balaclava mask, you know, looked like a ski. But to me, that's just kind of turning negative things into a positive. Like,
what you were saying, it kind of reminded me of something. I'm chronically online. I'm not proud of it, but it's something that people say, like, while they're liking stuff or building their algorithm, they say, oh, I built this brick by brick.
I built this shit, me, brick by brick.
That's what that kind of reminded me of.
Basically, it's building blocks. And, you know, the vision to see that.
I'm a creative at heart. I might not be like the best creative, and I might not be the most artistic person in the world, but I'm a creative at heart. And I did some pieces once upon a time ago, but the problem that I struggle with was staying motivated, you know? But something that really stood out was like, dang, today I don't feel like doing nothing, or I couldn't get that motivation to, you know, whip out the pen and the iPad and start going crazy. So what I want to ask you is, like, how did you stay motivated while working on this piece, or just in general while working on?
That's a good question, because you do have those days where, like you said, you don't feel like it. Kind of remind yourself of your mission. You know, if your mission is real, like I said, like, you know what you want to do, because that's what my mission is. Like, I want to make it where, you know, you can come to this store, you can write on walls. You can, you know, just freely express yourself in a space that, in a world that doesn't really allow you to do that, for real.
Being a clothing brand owner, it's gonna come with sacrifices. Can you tell me the biggest sacrifice when you started your clothing brand, or continuing to, you know, be the biggest sacrifice?
Promoting, those are sacrifices. I feel like a lot of things are sacrifices in a way where I'm not a person that's a social person. Like I literally will be, like you said, I like the times where it's like G Michelle and Margiela and all these brands, they find out because you come into a community and see them. And the money, you're gonna have to put in an investment, you know, when it comes to your LLC, making sure your emails and everything on the back end of your brand is set up right. You know, if you don't have the business part set up right, you gon', you know, that losing sales and not looking professional. So it's a lot of sacrifices with time and just making sure that you meeting those standards that you want to hit, you know, because everybody got different standards, you know.
Yeah.
However you want to see your brand. Like for me, like I seen Louis Vuitton be, you know, a person that lived in Italy, I believe. I forget where he lived at, but is a real person. And Chanel, all of these people lived before and they made a business off their name. And same way with me, I kind of wanted to do that in that vein, you know.
You've been going crazy, man. I be see the brands, I be seeing him everywhere, all the events. I just want to know, like, what is your biggest achievement or accomplishment so far through your journey?
Man, I had a lot of good accomplishments, man. The biggest accomplishment, I will say, send them designs and they telling me like from, you know, their perspective on how people perceive it and how they continue to, you know, build this community around this brand that I came up with. Like I said, started in my dorm room. So it's just kind of crazy to me, like how it's able to take this vision and now it be able to affect this person's life, you know, in a way where they going on shows and doing different things. And then the people that I used to hang out with in college, like changing the way they think about their worth and just being able to just call that into question, you know, because when you see SEEWORTH, a lot of people ask, like, what did they, like, you know, you get a feeling from it, but it's just like, it's like one of those things where you just kind of being able to see the worth that, you know, I'm able to get recognized for it, you know, through just things like that, so.
Yeah. And I know we touched on a couple of designers, but I want to get a strict answer. When you look at fashion in general, who do you think had or has the most influence?
Virgil Abloh.
Hey, go ahead and elaborate on that, why you think so.
Virgil, the reason why Virgil is so sweet is not because, to me, what he was able to do as a creative to like make, I feel like he made this whole way of people like being able to be creators in that way. I know for sure with me, when I seen him, I didn't know what I wanted to do in life until I seen him like be head director at Louis Vuitton. So it's like, dang, like, you know, that's a field for fashion. And how even before that, us as black people, we were always, you know, well-dressed, gators and different things. I remember even hearing that in history, like, and so to me, he sparked that flame in me to just like, he don't, you know, you got Jerry Lorenzo. I like Jerry Lorenzo. It's a lot of different, you know, black designers, not saying it's not none, but it's just, it's very rare. So to me, I liked it, that path for me as well. So everybody who I see always reference Virgil, like, and how he was able to kind of give free game, like on his page, and just how what he did is still living on today.
Yeah.
You know?
And Virgil, he had a big impact on us. And I'm thinking, like, as you're talking, I'm thinking, because there's this one thing that I saw on YouTube where he was in a Zoom call and he was talking about, what was it? Like a tin can. And it was like, if you design around this tin can, now it's art. But if you just put it in trash, now it's trash. And so I was thinking about that, and I was like, the booths that people had at the archive and like how you had your stuff set up. I actually have a video, I'm gonna play it. But how you had your stuff set up and to show you the history and the background of what you're doing, it was kind of giving me the same vibe. It was like the people that had the booths, not only do you have your piece, but you making a whole ecosystem for your piece. He had a tremendous impact on the fashion community just by seeing fashion in a different way from clothes, you know, not even just clothes, but just in a more enlightened way.
No, I agree, and I'm glad you brought that up, because why people low-key even do that, to
Yeah.
be honest. Like, to think about it, it's like, you know, people build those ecosystems because they found out how, you know, even Virgil with Off-White, how he built this crosswalk, you know, pattern, and then like all of those different things from the streets and are translating it through clothes, but also having, you know, the whole pop-up and, like you said, the situation surrounding it. So like you said, like Virgil, I think by far to me is the most influential like fashion designer. Just how great he was. Like I don't can imagine if he still was alive, like what he would be.
He'll be cooking.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
All right, so I appreciate your time.
Hey, man.
I've had a great conversation with you. More to come. Y'all go check out Seaworth. Everything's gonna be in the link in below.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Hey.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, MJ.
Yeah,
Always a
until
pleasure,
next
man.
time. Y'all subscribe, like, do everything.
Do
And
that.
yeah, until next time.
Till next time. Peace, man.